Hey guys, and welcome to the FTCsim programming tutorial for Sensors Level 7, Distance Sense. Our virtual robots are outfitted with sensors that can detect all kinds of things like colors or the distance of walls. In this tutorial, we will use the data from the distance sensors to find the distance of walls in front of our robot and use that data to let our robot make decisions on what to do. These sensors are useful in real life, but in the context of the FTCsim, they are very helpful when levels have walls like this that can move. So let's watch the red wall in front of our robot here. We're going to hit the run button a few times and watch what it does. So looks like it has an open and close position, and it looks like it's random. This is where we will be utilizing the distance sensors to tell when we are close to the wall. First thing we're going to do is open up the logic board and make the code to have our robot move forward at half speed or 0.5 speed. Alright, now let's add our telemetry blocks. It will be similar to adding the telemetry for the color sensors. We're going to go ahead and open up our Utilities tab, then Telemetry. Now we will drag in the Telemetry Add Data block and place it inside of our loop. Now add the Telemetry Update block, which will update the telemetry values every loop. We will place this under our Call Telemetry Add Data. Now let's do a code check. If we hit run, our robot should hit the red wall or the back wall. Perfect. Now if we click on show telemetry, we should see key and 0.000 because we have not given a value or source to display. To keep things clear, let's update the word key in our code to distance. And now we will update the telemetry value to the value the distance sensor is giving us. We will open up the Sensors tab, then the distance sensor, and now we will grab this top block that says call distance1.getDistance and plug it into the number slot of our telemetry block. Now let's hit run, and our telemetry window should show a number, and as we get close to the wall, it should be decreasing. The number you are seeing is the distance in centimeters from the robot to the wall. Now we can use that information in an if statement to make decisions like telling the robot to turn when it is close to the wall. I'll show you how to write an if statement with a distance sensor where we stop our robot once it is 40 centimeters from the wall. Then I'd like you to pause the video and try and complete the level. If you're having trouble finishing the level, I will run through the completion to the pause. So, the if statement we're going to write is going to have two arguments, getDistance and the integer, or in non-programmer talk, the number 40. What we're going to write is once our robot is less than 40 centimeters from a wall, break out of the loop and do something with the motors. In this specific case, stop. So we're going to go ahead and grab our if block from the logic tab, then grab our inequality block from the logic tab as well, and now we will fill both sides of the inequality block with our telemetry data and our integer block that is set to 40. Now we're going to go ahead and attach that to our if statement if it's not already done. And we will change the equal sign in our inequality to a less than sign. And drag our statement into our loop. The last couple things we're going to add is our break out of the loop block, which is in our loop tab, and then add it to our statement. And outside of our loop, we will go ahead and turn off the motors. Now we can go ahead and check if our code is working to stop our robot once the distance sensor detects something within 40 centimeters in front of our robot. We can see we have this weird edge case here where the closing of the wall is triggering our distance sensor. We can go ahead and slow down our robot, or what I like to do is add a sleep at the beginning of our code to let the wall do its thing. Now we can test again and still see if we have our issue. Looks like our robot is working as expected now. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video and try and complete the level on your own. If you're having trouble, we will go over the solution after the break. All right, if you've completed the level, you're almost done. Go ahead and skip ahead to the time on the screen for an extra challenge, but stick around if you need help completing the level. All right, so now let's go ahead and work through the solution for this level. As of right now, we have a robot that drives forward and stops when it's 40 centimeters from the wall. Let's go ahead and build our code to get it to turn to the left or counterclockwise when it is 40 centimeters from the wall. Since both solutions are the same direction, we can build the code in the same if statements as the stopping code. Let's go ahead and enter our drive code to stop and turn counterclockwise in our if statement before the breakout of the loop block. Now that we have that, we can go ahead and hit test and make sure our code works for both wall positions. Now we're going to make our robot drive forward to the pad and complete the level. We can do a drive forward based on time, but since this level is about sensing distance, we're going to use the distance sensor to stop the robot. We're going to repeat what we did at the top of our code for the drive forward, and we're going to copy and paste our loop and delete what we do not need. We can go ahead and run our code and see what the robot does here. So we can see that the 40 centimeters is a bit too close to the wall for the pad. Let's go ahead and try a couple more values here to see if we can find one that works. Right, now we can make sure it works for both wall positions. Excellent. Now, don't forget to save your work. And now I have an extra challenge for you. Using the distance sensor, try and collect the duck first and then complete the level. Thanks for watching and see you next time.